So, like, another byproduct of the stuff that I've figured out is you're actually infinitely more receptive to being with your partner. So, like, right now, the person who's holding the phone is my wife. And so her back hurts. So, like, learning the calculus of humanity is kind of funny. Because it's genuinely stuff we should have just known. But it's like stuff we talked ourselves out of. So, right now, I would not want to rub her back, right? Because I want to do something else. But she needs it. And so I'm going to do it. And instead of being pissy about it and trying to just get it done and over with, I stopped and thought. You know, did the option. It's like, I put positivity into it. Like the concept, I just changed the math problem, right? And then I just started, like, feeling around. And I started feeling the different knots and areas of stress in her back and where she needed help from. And then I made a game out of it. You know, you start gamifying the stuff, and then you just start rubbing in those areas. And then it's like super helpful. Here, is it not helpful, babe?
Yes.
Say it louder, please. I don't know if I can hear you.
Yes.
Thank you. See? It's literally that simple. It's just nice to be nice. And that's just how you treat somebody that you genuinely are supposed to care about. You know? I mean, it seems like stuff that should be intuitive, but I know from my personal experience that it's not, okay? It's not at all. But that's the thing. And you can even feel it. So, like I said, it's even furtherance. You know, you can just make a game out of it. And that is another issue. So, like, that coming into the fact that, like, right now, she wants me to read her a book, okay? And the book that she's super interested in is this this Cosmic Query. Sorry, baby. All right, Cosmic Queries. And I guess I'll just read it to her, and I'll just read it here, and then I'm just gonna talk because who cares, right? The hardly anyone will deny that the universe, a repository. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have errors in speaking because I can read faster in my head than I can out loud, and it is what it is. I don't care. So, let's run it back. Hardly anyone will deny that the universe, a repository for boundless lines of inquiry, occupies a unique place in our collective core of curiosity. This fact also renders the universe a repository for our boundless collective ignorance. I love the wording. Small wonder that the heavens have served as a literal and spiritual home of most gods people have worshipped over the millennia. A common task of deities is to control all that seem mysterious to our mortal minds and out of control to our mortal bodies. Now, in the gulf between the depths of human curiosity and the limits of human ignorance resides a series of questions. I'm super eager for these questions, for real. Some of which we all have asked, and all of which some of us have asked. That's super cryptic, but I love that. I love where he's going with that. Not all have answers. I mean, let's be real, they do now. For those that do, our answers may be incomplete or inaccurate or inadequate. You know, that's a thing. It doesn't matter. We can move on. For the remaining queries, we can look around on earth and up into the heavens to declare with confidence and a bit of pride that at least some of the universe is knowable to the human mind. Bruh, we have no clue. That's what's the best about this. Humanity is gonna be so hype about all this. And that's why I'm just taking my time, taking it slow, rubbing my lady's back, and letting her help me make videos. And that's the thing. That was always supposed to be the thing. So, back to the story. Where are we at? Oh yeah, a bit of pride that at least some of the universe is knowable to human mind. But we must also humbly recognize that as the area of our knowledge grows, so too does the parameter of our ignorance. Bruh, you have no clue. It's actually kind of funny. It's like the cave of the mind, and the parameter of our ignorance. Ignorance is directly proportional to the concept of a shadow, which is fear, which is like, I mean, I'll get to it. Cosmic queries will feed your curiosity with the deepest questions anybody has ever asked about our place in the universe. I'm sorry, I'll stop. But these pages will also dip you into the eddies of our uncertainties and dangle you by your ankles above the gaps of our knowledge. Yo, Neil has the best words. Like, for real. Why? Because therein lies the true source of curiosity and wonder. The not knowing. Yo, dude, but if you know, then not knowing is fucking sick, dude. Coupled with its only anecdote or antidote, the need to know. That is something that's really old. The need to know. It's so funny. But now that we can know, it's all good. You just got to do the math. Coupled with empowered by the methods and tools of science applied to the cosmic frontier. That's a true thing. Science, biology, all of the studies, psychology, but just looking at it differently, contextually, mentally, from our mind, from the perspectives of philosophy and just neuroscience. We'll get there. What is our place in the universe? Sorry, universe. Baby, feel free to help me if you think I'm floundering. If you want to speak up, just because they don't see you doesn't mean they can't hear you. You can speak up and tell me what's up. Oh, she's shy. It's okay. She'll get used to it. Isaac Newton and Aristotle walk into. Oh my God, Neil serves us up a joke off top. What a champion. Isaac Newton and Aristotle walk into a bar. They're engaged in an ongoing debate over what is actually going on when an object falls to Earth. Both imagine the scene, but they see completely different things. You've no fucking clue how different the things are that they're seeing. It's actually kind of hilarious, but it's also similar as well. So it's like great minds did think alike, but also in the same terms. Okay, let's get there. In Aristotle's world, everything is made from the 4 basic elements of earth: air, fire, and water. The object made of earth, and not any of the other 3 elements, has an innate desire to seek the universe, or seek the center of the universe, which in Aristotle's view is the same as the center of earth. Yo, Aristotle was kind of spitting, let's be fair. He's kind of right in certain areas, contextually, like up here. Where is it? The center of Earth. It was, after all, self-evident to him that all heavenly bodies orbited Earth, which was itself stationary. The object, then, was compelled by its inner nature to fall. Wait, what? Oh my God. Dude, he conceptually was explaining what doubt was using celestial bodies. Like the urge to fall. It's like that urge to, like, it's the Kermit meme. Like, do it. Do it. Okay. Newton doesn't care what the object is made of, only that it has mass. Yo, bruh, he was spitting. Newton was out here just like, I don't care. I don't want none unless you've got mass. Huh? All right. His law of the universe, universal gravitation, tells him that anything dropped to Earth's surface will fall because of this force. He also knows that the same force extending out into space... Oh, hold on, babe. Keeps the moon in its orbit. I think she went to sleep. And without the constant tug of gravity, the moon would fly off into space. Now think about that. Keeps the moon in its orbit, and without the constant tug of gravity, the moon would fly off into space. Does that or does that not sound like the two-body problem? And if you apply that to people, we can easily quantify a constant orbit around one person at least. That's the concept of love. Evolved from what love, familial love, to like romantic love. Aristotle orders a retsina. I don't know what that is. I'm just being off top. I don't have any idea. Newton orders a stiff mead. Now, I know that one. I'm assuming it's a drink. Just an inference. They're sitting at a bar. Yeah, it's a drink. Over their drink, it says drinks. Big dumb. That's what I'm saying. Can't read ahead. They debate which view is right. Newton proposes a simple test. In his theory, neglecting air resistance, all objects dropped to Earth's surface will fall at the same rate. For Aristotle, a bigger object has more earth element than a smaller one, and therefore will fall faster, in proportion to how much earth element is contained. They ask the bartender for a penny and an expensive bottle of bourbon, and discover that both, although a very different mass, do indeed fall at the same rate. Newton points out that testing our ideas against nature is the core of the scientific method. That's sick, dude. That is true. It's very true. A technique that has led to profound changes in the human condition through the search for objective truths and understanding of our place in the universe. Aristotle pays for the drinks and the broken bottle of bourbon. But furtherance of that would be them realizing, walking out of the bar, right? And then finding, like, a nervous man walking along the side of the road. And then they're like, sir, why are you talking to yourself? And he turns around and it's Sigmund Freud. And he's over there psychoanalyzing himself. And, like, they figure out immediately that he's not really... Well, actually, no, they did. They really did think that homeboy was trying to bone his... I mean, he was. Maybe. I don't know, subconsciously. But that's just the concept of the edible complex and all that shit. But it's really just the person who made you feel safe and the person that didn't reflected back and forth in a duality of cause and effects through the course of their life that you can unravel or build up the story of, because it doesn't matter, you just needed the structure. Like, that was the issue with humanity as a whole. We thought we all had to pick roles, but completely ignoring the concept that once you pick a role, you start believing it and playing that role for your entire life, which causes discordance if overall that was never meant to happen. Because you were always meant to be a star. That's kind of funny. All right. Is Earth a planet? Yeah, dog. Come on. Neil, for real, dude. For real, dude. We need to change the definitions on what planets are. Because this is nonsense. Like, or what even... Like, I'm just calling them celestial bodies at this point. Because the moon, Earth, and the sun, or whatever, that, like, they all that stuff, we use the concept of the three-body problem over and over and over again, ad nauseum, etc., etc. Shout outs to Jupiter for being the nervous system of the solar system. Not nervous system, but like the antibodies of the nervous system out there holding it down for Earth. But, we'll move on. The cosmology developed by the ancient Greeks dominated thinking about our planet and the universe. For more than 1,000 years, it taught that Earth was the unmoving center of the cosmos, the home of all life. It's not the home of all life. Like, this is like conceptual life. Like, I think it's sapiens. Yeah. Because it's not sentience, it's sapiens. It's the fact that we have feelings. Ooh, spooky word. We don't like feelings in here no more. Feelings and facts are at war. We don't gotta be like that, but alright. The cosmology developed by the ancient Greeks dominated the thinking of our place in the universe for more than 1,000 years. It taught that Earth was the unmoving center of the cosmos and the home of all life, and that all heavenly bodies, including the sun and the stars, moved around us. Furthermore, it assumed that any imperfections on Earth do not extend into the heavens. The sun and moon were considered unblemished globes, the crystalline structures that carry the planet's perfect spheres rolling within their other perfect spheres like invisible nesting dolls. The heavens were seen as different from Earth, made of different stuff and operating according to different laws. Earth wasn't really part of the cosmos until Isaac Newton healed the rift between them. and our own planet came to be seen as part of the universe. Huh. Doesn't that just sound like the grass is always greener on the other side? Like as a concept of astrology to like Earth's biology? Like for real when you think about it? You know, because that's actually just what it is. Like conceptually. The most famous failed experiment. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I'm super excited about this. Aristotle and Isaac Newton did have something in common. They believed that either a mysterious invisible substance permeated all empty space, until the late 19th century. Physicists sensibility, presumed that because vibrating sound waves require a medium such as air through which to propagate, light must require a medium as well, a luminiferous ether. Centuries of great thinkers had clung to the ether to help explain the inexplicable. Aristotle claimed the celestial bodies orbit in transparent crystalline spheres, with ether filling the gaps between. Isaac Newton proposed that a continual flow of ether towards Earth was the mechanism of gravity. The French mathematician René Descartes posited the invisible forces like magnetism and tides tug and push on the ether. Bro, dude, all these guys just needed to be homies, man. They literally like, if you pieced it all together and applied the concepts to, like, us as people, as individual celestial bodies, and then you bounce that off of the concept of all that is written throughout the entirety of human history, and then you figure out how to find the zeros and the ones, and then you just do the fucking math. And then you find the answer to the fact and fiction in literally everything that has ever been written. Math. It had to go out into the universe to come back. People just needed to ask the right questions. And you're welcome. I'm the weirdo that even thought of all this. Because I didn't want to lose my girlfriend, now wife. That's pretty cool, man. The answer at the end of the day was love. Love was the only thing that I did. I yelled into the void and said no. And then I just started thinking. But I didn't have anything to hold me back. I reverse engineered this concept because I cared. Because I just needed to understand. And everything made sense. It all lined up. I'm like light, wavelength, frequency, this, that, the other. And I got to these equations of energy. And then what energy was. And then what the forces of energy were. And then like the concept of what string theory was. And all the jokes about it. And the equations. And I was like, well, how come no one's even looking over here? Like, and I thought I just kept looking, and I kept questioning everything I was doing, every step of the way. And I'm still not questioning it anymore, but like right now, I'm like, I cannot go back to the original way of thinking. I don't know how anymore. It is conditioned out of me because I also use the other knowledge in all the fields of like neuroscience and like conditioning, operant and classical. I learned all that. I learned the polarity of the human mind because, again, they talk about magnetism right here and the concept that we are magnets that can change its polarity because we can change our own fate, because we are the free will, but we fuck up, and as long as we learn from our mistakes, we move forward, a spiral as it always was, just spirals. And I'm just gonna keep going because I don't care. Like, It all ties together. Every book. Throw anything at me. Any book, and I'll read it, because it doesn't matter. Because I can just explain the moral. Because I just know how to do the math. But the funniest shit about this is I can't write the equation right now because I don't actually know math. I just know the concept of what math stemmed from. I understand the idea that, like, casuistry went from helping us to power fucking us because it became a weapon. And once that happened, it was a wrap. Because as magnets, opposites attract, but we didn't understand how fundamental a level that is, and so much so that we believe in fucking simulation theory. Now there's people out there like, well, we need to go into machines. Motherfucker, are you serious? So we're going to take a limited option structure and make it more limited and pay to play in a less fluid environment? Are you kidding me, guys? Come on. The geniuses of the planet, like, come on. This is ridiculous. Alright, whatever. I'll stop bitching. Sorry about that. It's, you know what? I have to. I've been doing this for a year. It's pretty weird. But in 1887, the chemist Edward Morley and the physicist Albert Michelson, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong, I apologize. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, I promise. Provided the first compelling evidence against the idea. They reasoned that if ether permeated the space around us, then Earth's motion through it should be detectable via changes in the speed of light, when measured as it moved in the same direction as Earth, compared with its speed as it moved in a direction opposite to Earth's. By analogy, if you watch a train go by and you measure the speed of a ball tossed forward from the train, what you actually get is the speed of the ball plus the speed of the train. And if the ball is thrown backwards, you get the speed of the ball minus the speed of the train. Would light behave the same way? To answer this question and analyze light beams, Michelson invented the interferometer, the most precise instrument of the time. No ether showed up. There wasn't ether. I'm sorry, guys. The speed of light was the same no matter which way. Yeah, of course. Relative to Earth, the failed experiment transformed science entirely and ultimately led to the discovery of spatial relativity. I mean, yeah. In AD 150, Claudius Ptolemy, dude, yo, people are gonna rag on me so hard. I don't know how to Ptolemy, like, yo, for real. Grasp this. I don't know how to pronounce this word, so I'm gonna go with Ptolemy until people correct me or anyone corrects me. An Alexandrian philosopher, mathematician. Yo, that dude had a title. I'm a master of I'm a food chemist and engineer. Articulated the ultimate Greek view of the universe. Like much of Greek science, his idea took a roundabout journey into the curriculum of medieval universities in Europe. First translated into Arabic at the House of Wisdom in Baghdad, and then later brought to Spain by crusaders and translated into Latin. The language of academic scholarship, the significance and influence of Ptolemy's book was revealed by the title the Arabs gave it, which persists to this day. Almagest, meaning the greatest. This celestial atlas looks like the thing in the, you see that? Doesn't that look like the thing in that movie, 13 Ghosts? You can't tell me that's not the thing in 13 Ghosts. It's the thing. Oh, man. Scientific method is doing whatever it takes not to fool oneself into thinking what's true and false or what's false and true. So here's the thing about that, but it doesn't matter if you have the math You can't question the math. Y'all, you people out here trying to believe there's multiple dimensions as opposed to just the multiverse being the minds that are constructed by the people living the lives as a whole, as a concept of working together in the same chaotic theory as the universe. Like, come on. Conceptually, it makes sense. You're going to laugh at how hilarious this joke is. Oh, snap. Oh, hold on. I better get going. My girl wants me to get off the phone. Off. Because this reminds me of back when I was in the day. So hold on. I'm going to pause here. Right? On page 19. We made it. You know what? F that. I'm going to roll one more page. We'll hit that sweet 20 mark. You know. A lot was going on in Ptolemy's geocentric model. The planets moved within crystalline spheres. Yo, for real, I actually want to understand. Is that because of the minerals and stuff? Like, I'm curious about that. Modified by subcycles, modified by sub-subcycles, and collectively called epicycles. Oh, that makes sense now. By adjusting the revolution speeds of all these spheres and epicycles, Ptolemy accounted for centuries of observations by Greek and Babylonian astronomers who preceded him. He could also predict ellipses and other celestial events. The system flat out worked. No wonder 1,500 years would pass before this Earth-centered model was seriously challenged. Yo, that's hotness, dude. It's funny how knowledge works in cycles, like the concept of what we think can evolve in cycles and how radically it changes. Sounds like a duality to me. Observable and unobservable. Particle wave duality. Ooh, creepy paper. All right. In the Greek scheme, there were 7 wanderers in the heavens. Oh, 7 samurai. I get it now. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, the Sun, and the Moon. The Greek word for wanderer is planetes, like manatees, or is it planetes? Or planetes? I'm just going to call them planetes because that's fucking cool to me. All right. Because Earth was not visible in the sky, Earth was not deemed a wanderer. Get fucked, dude. We're wandering just like everyone else, man. We lost like Zorro in One Piece. All right. Was not deemed a wanderer or a planet. In this scheme, Earth is not carried along a crystal sphere. In fact, it's not carried along at all. See, we knew. We figured it out. We done figured it out. To the ancient Greeks, Earth is the unmoving center of the cosmos, the home of all life. Remember that to Aristotle, the falling bourbon bottle was seeking this unmoving center. That wasn't necessary. But it is a way to measure quantum, so I guess that did answer that question. What we call extraterrestrial life today had no place in their world. Yeah, for real, dude. I felt like an alien my entire life. A lot of us do. You know, because there is life on Mars. I mean, like that nice guy, Youngblood. He's a pretty cool cat. Any existence beyond Earth, anything we today would call an exoplanet, required another Earth surrounded by its own crystal spheres. Another entire cosmos. Well, yeah, because, like, are there any actual planets out there that just chilling alone? I don't think there is. Isn't that like what the black holes are? But even though they say, I don't know the answer to this question because I don't fucking know, for real. I don't actually know the answer to that. Does it require, is there any places out there? No, there's that one that's floating around in there. They said there's a planet that's got nothing. Huh. Isn't that the SEMP thing or something like, I don't know. If such an entity existed, they argue, how could an object like the falling bottle make a decision as to which center to seek out? Clearly, they argued, there can only be one center, one Earth, one cosmos. I mean, that is kind of like there's only one person at a time. But here's the thing. We're at page 20. Took 30 minutes. We're on a good pace. I'm down with this. Holy crap, look at this. Full Metal Alchemist, y'all. Boom. Yo, let's ride. We're going to, well, not right now. I don't want to get in trouble. You know, I don't want to get in trouble. So, That's the thing. I'm actually going to start trying to go to TU for philosophy, but they also integrate like religion in that, which is going to be pretty cool for me. So I'm going to head off here. You guys have a good night. I don't know who I'm talking to, and I don't care, but you're all homies now. We're all friends because you're my friend, and you don't have to know me for me to like you. And